Hi everyone, in this video we will discuss some important case laws on Indian Constitution. This is part 1. The first case is Keshwananda Bharati versus State of Kerala 1973. In this case, the Supreme Court dealt with the issue whether the Parliament can amend any part of the Constitution and what was the limit to that power. In a close decision of 7 to 6, the bench overturned the legal proposition established in the case of I.C. Golaknath versus State of Punjab 1967. The bench ruled that a constitutional amendment does not fall under the definition of law as stated in Article 13. While the Parliament has the authority to amend any part of the Constitution, including the fundamental rights, Part 3, the basic structure of the Constitution cannot be abrogated through a constitutional amendment. The basic structure doctrine ruled that even a constitutional amendment could be invalidated if it impaired the basic structure of the Constitution. It was contended that what regards to the basic structure will be decided from case-to-case basis. The next case is I.C. Golaknath versus State of Punjab 1967. In this case, the main questions were whether a constitutional amendment qualifies as a law under Article 13 Clause 2 of the Indian Constitution and whether the Parliament has the authority to amend fundamental rights. By a narrow majority of 6:5, the Supreme Court overruled the decision in Sajjan Singh and determined that an amendment made under Article 368 is considered a law according to Article 13 Clause 2. However, the court also established that the legislature does not possess the power to amend Part 3 of the Constitution in order to take away or curtail fundamental rights. The judgment was overruled by 24th Amendment. However, it was restored and its scope was extended in Keshwananda Bharati case. The next case is Menka Gandhi versus Union of India 1978. The primary matters addressed in this case were whether the right to travel abroad is encompassed within the right to personal liberty as stated in Article 21 of the Constitution, and whether the Passport Act satisfies the requirement of providing a procedure as mandated by Article 21. The Supreme Court concluded that the right to travel abroad is indeed a constituent element of the right to personal liberty under Article 21. Furthermore, the court emphasized that the mere existence of an enabling law is insufficient to restrict personal liberty. The procedure established by law must be fair, just, and reasonable, and should not be whimsical, oppressive, or arbitrary. An important finding in this case pertains to the identification of intricate links among the three articles of the Constitution, Articles 14, 19, and 21. The next case is Muhammad Ahmad Khan versus Shah Bano Begum and others, 1985. Shah Bano Begum, the petitioner, requested maintenance under Section 125 of the CRPC. The Supreme Court's Constitution Bench determined that the provisions of Section 125 are secular in nature, distinct from the personal laws. The court further emphasized that such provisions serve as protective measures that transcend religious boundaries. The court declared that the purpose of imposing responsibility by Section 125 to provide support to financially needy close relatives is to prevent vagrancy and destitution. The ruling triggered a political controversy, leading to then government overturning it by enacting the Muslim Women Protection on Divorce Act 1986, which limited alimony to the iddat period, aligning with Muslim personal law. The last case is Vishakha versus State of Rajasthan 1997. Bhanwari Devi, a social worker from Rajasthan, was brutally gang raped by five men in response to her efforts to prevent a child marriage. Shockingly, the trial court acquitted all five accused. In response to Bhanwari Devi's case and the prevalent issue of workplace sexual harassment, Vishakha, a group for women's education and research, petitioned the Supreme Court. On August 13, 1997, the Supreme Court issued the Vishakha Guidelines, which defined sexual harassment and held employers and other responsible individuals or institutions accountable for creating a safe working environment for women. These guidelines were considered legally binding until appropriate legislation was enacted to address the issue of sexual harassment. That's all for the day. Thank